Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. I'm Afefe with Touch by Tarot. I am an intuitive tarot reader and I do a lot of work around self empowerment, healing, self growth, that sort of thing. But also, I am a former journalist. So I have, every now and again I will be dipping my toe into the political realm. And I wanted to follow up on a reading that I gave you all 2 days ago. I taped it on July 4th and it was on ethics for the Supreme Court. But in that, when I was doing the introduction for that taping, I said, at that point, the cocaine being found in the West Wing of the White House, that story was just breaking. And I kind of poo-pooed it on that tape because I thought when I first saw it, it was hitting all the websites. It was coming from mostly, right-wing resources. And so I thought, this is just something they've planted, something they've fabricated. It's not real. And then, sure enough, as the story began to be flushed out, certainly yesterday, I'm taping this on Thursday, July 6th. So, last couple of days, it has been confirmed. It's come out. By the way, you all, I apologize if you get a little noise outside. There are some gardeners doing some work out there, landscapers. But so I wanted to come back because I didn't want to leave it that way. I really just thought, okay, this has got to be a hoax when we first heard about it. And then sure enough, this happened. So of course we know all fingers are, they're trying to point this at toward Hunter Biden because Hunter was there. I think they said that he left with Joe Biden and Jill for Camp David on Sunday or Monday, but they went there for the 4th. They was there for the 4th. We saw the pictures of the family on the, at the White House and all of that. Okay. This story is almost just, it's borderline ridiculous. Clearly, yes. Was cocaine found in the West Wing? Yes. In a cubby hole by a Secret Service agent. Turns out in an area that is, open to tourists and other workers. Like, this is not some secluded back room, you know, private office sort of situation. This could have been easily done by anyone. But I wanted to go to Spirit and just get a little more clarity around that and just say, hey, is Hunter involved in any way? Kind of think we already know the answer to that, but also to get a little more clarity around why was this done, if it was planted, and clearly it was. If it was in a cubby hole, they said where tourists are, where they have to check their phones, where people have to put up their phones and things as they're touring the White House and the West Wing. So, who would have done this? And also there's this, they've got cameras everywhere. So people have been saying, well, heck, wasn't Hunter, tell us who it was. Get out there, get these cameras going, roll the tapes and track it down. And they're, oh, well, we don't know if we can do that because it was such a small amount, apparently some little tiny packet that, someone could have put next to a phone or so. Could have been slipped in a cubbyhole anyway, all right? But I just want to get to a little bit about, what's behind that. Let's go to Spirit and see what's behind that. And to what extent is that going to actually turn into anything? Or is it ultimately going to be a big nothing burger, right? Something that just gave fodder to the press, the Fox News and all those characters. Okay, I've got the world at the bottom of the deck. It's a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger, you all. This is going to pass. It was clearly done. 8 of Wands. All right. So that's, it caught fire. It got out there. It mushroomed. It spread fast. And, the thing is, because we know Hunter's problems with addiction, we know that he has made some incredibly poor choices, to say the least. That's putting it lightly. And the whole thing is, ultimately we just don't want to see all of this boomerang back on Joe Biden, who is, this is his son. And while he is president of the United States, he is also a father. And he is, who has gone through tremendous loss, as we know. And, what happened with Beau, whether Hunter has used that as an excuse for some of his own behaviors, all of those things. But at the end of the day, you all, politics aside, how many of us have had either in our own families or friends or people we've known who have had substance abuse issues? And there are always, these underlying factors and unresolved trauma and things that happen. Hunter needs therapy. No two ways about it. Maybe he's getting it and he needs more. Going out and marrying some woman, South African woman from South Africa, was 6 days after he met her. I can only imagine, as a parent, I can only imagine how Joe Biden must feel on some days, and yet what he has to do, we got the devil, okay. And what he has to do as a parent to continue to provide support for his son under these incredibly public and vitriolic circumstances, right? All right, so cocaine in the West Wing of the White House. I've got the Eight of Wands. That's the story blowing up. I've got the Page of Wands. I think that was a plant. I really do. The Page of Wands, I think that was a plant. That was somebody who went, this was something that was, this was something that was incredibly deliberate. And I've got the devil. Devil deals with addictions. And that was going to be the momentum of the story. To put this on Hunter's addiction and basically say, hey, guess what? He's in the White House, you all, in the West Wing, doing his thing. Nothing has changed with Hunter. And I don't think that's true at all. I have a Six of Pentacles, exactly. This was somebody who was given money to do this. Two of Wands. They were given money to do this. Someone was given money to go in and plant this in the White House. And the Five of Swords. And now they're afraid that it's going to get back to them. Was this a member of the public? Was this, excuse me, guys, I got on this peasant shirt. Was this a member of the public spirit? Was this like someone, was it a tourist or someone under the guise of a tourist that planted it? Was this a tourist? I have the Three of Swords. Someone really unhappy, somebody who had a gripe. And I've got the Sun. I think this was someone who was who had access to the White House either through, some sort of tour or something, and they had a gripe. They are someone who is not well. I've got the Three of Swords. Those of you familiar with tarot, that's like a lot of grief, a lot of trauma, a lot of, pain, unresolved issues. And then coming with the Sun says they convinced themselves that they were doing the right thing with the Seven of doggone swords. Spirit never lies. This is the card of betrayal. It is the card of, underhanded behavior. This, you all, this was someone who planted it. And the thing is, by planting such a small amount in a cubbyhole where the public is allowed to tour and, there's a lot of foot traffic basically, they knew that it was not going to be easily discoverable. They weren't going to be able to trace it back to exactly who put it there. So therefore, it makes it plausible. Well, then, there's no explanation. We can't furnish proof that somebody else planted it. So who do we know who was in the White House who clearly has a history with using cocaine? I mean, that's petty. It's almost petty. But I tell you what, Five of Wands, it's going to last, so long, and then it's going to be gone. They're going to milk it for a moment, but I don't think and I got the King of Swords, and I think that is Joe Biden basically, holding his own, continuing to do what he has to do. He understands no one knows Hunter's issues better than Joe Biden, okay? And to have to, again, carry that both as a parent and as the leader of America, that's unimaginable to me. But you all, this story is going to blow over, and I stick with what I think the guides are saying here, and is that this was someone who took some money, they were paid off, they were put up to doing this. It was well thought out in terms of where it could be done and where it would easily not be able to have, get traced back to. And I do think that it will blow over of all the issues. And I'm gonna do another taping on Hunter Biden and the impact, the potential impact that it looks like he is going to have on Joe Biden's campaign and pending indictments against Hunter. This was something that was definitely, there was a collaboration to do this. This was a political stunt. It was a diabolical political stunt. And we have not seen the last of it. I've got the Knight of Cups at the end. That's Hunter trying to move around this. We really need to put a lot of light around, Hunter makes it difficult sometimes to, the more I learn about him, he makes it difficult to be sympathetic toward him. However, sympathy and compassion, kind of two different things. And so I think, for me personally, I have to have compassion toward him. But certainly we need to put a lot of light around Joe Biden, you all, because this is, of all the pressure and stress that he is constantly under, this is just something he does not need. And again, I'm gonna do some more work around Hunter Biden, and try to go to spirit and see what we can get around ultimately the impact that Hunter could have as we're heading into 2024. All right, you all. So that's it. I just wanted to check in and let you know. I don't like, if I put information out there, I want to make sure that it's right. And when I taped the other day, I really thought it was a hoax. And then subsequent to my taping, it came out, hey, this really did happen. But this was a trick up somebody's sleeve. And we probably won't find out who did it, but it will, we're not, for all the things that we are not ignorant. We are not stupid. We can figure things out. All right. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.